What is up, guys? Litrana here with a guide for PvP Blood Death Knights patch 6.2. Now, the reason why I'm making this guide, guys, is because I've been looking around and I haven't seen any on PvP Blood for 6.2 or anywhere for that matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and make one myself. A lot of people don't like to play Blood. I do. I think it's actually pretty good. It's not like the old days where you're just staying alive and not doing a lot of damage. You actually you do quite a bit of damage nowadays. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the talents. Now for level 56, you're gonna want to be using Plague Leech. Pretty much the only viable option for level 56 talents. You get two free runes in exchange for your diseases. This glyph actually, this talent, actually goes really good with the glyph of Outbreak. Why is that? When you take off the diseases, you get your 2 runes. Go ahead and reapply those diseases for the cost of 30 runic power. So it's like a never-ending cycle. You just go ahead and do that. So definitely Plague Leech for level 56. Level 57, Lichborn is pretty much the only option for PvP in this tier. You may be able to use Purgatory if you are a flag carrier and you're about to die. You can go ahead and pop your Death Pact, or you can call out for a Lay on Hands, or any kind of heal for that matter. That would be the only other option for that situation, maybe. But for the most part, you're going to want to be going Lichborn. And Lichborn also, you can get some heals off. They're a little smaller heals, but definitely heals through your death coils and stuff like that. So definitely Lichborn. 58. I like to have my stun rather than Chillblains or Death's Advance. Death's Advance, I feel, is more for PvE, running through dungeons and raids and that kind of thing. Maybe, like I said, again, for a flag carrier, if you're running across the map, you can get there faster. You move 10% faster passively, and you get a burst of speed real quick for that. So maybe if you're a flag carrier, you like to do that kind of thing, that'd be a good one for you. But I feel like Asphyxiate is the best option for this tier. Now level 60, you gotta go with Blood Tap. If you don't know how to use it, learn how to use it. It's very simple. With Blood Tap, I like that one because the other two are a little bit RNG for me. But if you don't like to use Blood Tap, definitely go with Runic Corruption, because it is set up a little bit better, scales out better than Runic Empowerment. But Blood Tap is what makes a good DK, and this is what makes an okay DK. So definitely learn how to use Blood Tap. I will go over that a little bit, and I'll show you how I bind it into my Razor Naga. If you guys are wondering what's the best way to, kind of manage that as far as your keys go and your key bindings, I'll go ahead and show you real quick a tip on that. But yeah, so that's for level 60. Now level 75, definitely go with Death Pact. It's the best out of the 3. You get a huge heal, and it goes very good with Vampiric Blood. So definitely Death Pact. Level 90 talents, like Desecrated Ground. It's like a trinket. Level 100, BOS or Defile. Like I said, if you're a flag carrier, you're standing on the mound, you can go ahead and throw that down, take less damage, whatever. For the most part, I like to go more for the damage side, so I like Breath of Sinjagosa. Now it did get nerfed in 6.2, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still very good, because it is. Now all you're gonna have to do is manage your runic power a little bit better, but I will also show you how to do that as well, and I'll give you little tips and tricks on that. So let's go into glyphs. Regenerative Magic, Icy Touch, and Runic Power. These 3 I feel are the best. Like I said, you can use Outbreak. Goes really good with Plague Leech. You can kind of swap it out for anyone except for Icy Touch. I would always keep Icy Touch. Icy Touch is almost a must. Actually, it is a must for PvP. You dispel magic beneficial magical effects. Really good against healers. Always want to have the Glyph of Icy Touch. Now, Runic Power in PvP, you get stunned a lot. You guys know that. So, if you're at least gaining Runic Power by being stunned while you can't do anything, it's better than not getting Runic Power. So, I like to have that. And when you have Runic Power, you can get Blood Taps, which lead to Death Strikes, which lead to more health. So, that's good. And then also Regenerative Magic, you guys know what that is. So, yeah, that's that. Now, for stat priority, it goes like this. You're going to want to have strength. That's going to be your number one. It always should be your number one. Then you're going to want bonus armor. Bonus armor is a secondary stat, usually found within the neck, the back piece, the rings. I don't know about the trinkets. Maybe the trinkets. Some trinkets. But mainly those pieces in PvP. So also you're going to want to buy those pieces as well. The off pieces with the bonus armor. So that's that. And then after bonus armor, you're going to want to go multi-strike, which is going to increase your damage and also going to make your death strikes heal for more. After multi-strike, you're going to want mastery, which is a mitigation process, or it helps with your mitigation process. So that's really good as well. Then goes crit, versatility, haste, so on and so forth. So that is stat priority for you guys. Now, here's a little bit of my rotation and how I like to do things. Obviously, you're going to want to always have Bone Shield on before the fight. Same with Horn of Winter. You're going to want both of those. You're going to start off by opening with an Outbreak. Now, I do have a macro that has Dancing Rune Weapon alongside with my Death Strike. So every time I cast Death Strike and Dancing Rune Weapon is available, it will cast. So I like to open up with that. But before I do that, I'm going to, like I said, throw an Outbreak on there, get close to the target, throw on a Soul Reaper. Now you guys are asking why I'm using Soul Reaper. I like to use Soul Reaper over Blood Boil, even though they both cost 1 blood. Because it's going to give my Death Strikes 20% more healing, which is incredible, guys. Also, it's going to do a lot more damage to the target when it's at 35% health. And from what I can tell in PvP, a lot of players are usually from that 0% health to 50% health most of the time in PvP. So you're going to catch players a lot of the time in that 35% range, which you're going to be doing a lot more damage, which as a Blood Death Knight is very good because you don't do a lot of damage to begin with, so the more the better. So always use Soul Reaper for your blood runes, and then you can also use Blood Boils if you'd like to in like BGs and stuff like that to spread your diseases, but for the most part they do about the same amount of damage, but this just Soul Reaper has more beneficial effects. So like I said, you're going to want to go with an Outbreak. You're going to do a Soul Reaper. That Soul Reaper is going to make your Death Strike heal for more. As you can see, 49k. That's ridiculous. You're going to want to go until your runes are out. Now, what I like to do is once I come face to face with the target, Soul Reaper, throw a few Death Strikes, whatever, get some Runic Power. I like to back away. I like to throw out or dump my Runic Power into my Death Coils, throw a few Icy Touches or Icy, Chains of Ice on them. I like to keep my distance. Now, why is that? Why do you like to keep your distance? Because when you keep your distance, you have a little bit more control over the fight. And with that being said, your survivability will be a lot greater than if you were blindlessly fighting face to face with the target and not knowing what you're doing. So if you can control the fight, keep your distance, know when to go back and when to gain Runic Power, and then when to back away, that's what's going to make you a good Death Knight. And that's what's going to get kills, and that's what's going to spin flags, and that's how you're going to win. Now, stepping away also helps with healing your teammates, and it also helps with, like I said, your survivability. But when you do go back to melee range with your target, you're going to want to spam Death Strikes and Soul Reapers and Blood Boils if you'd like. You could throw a Death and Decay down. It's up to you what you want to do. You're always going to want to use Plague Leech on cooldown when you can. And as far as defensive cooldowns go now, guys, obviously your IVF is one of your major defensive cooldowns. Why is that? It reduces your damage taken by 50%. So use that when you know you're going to be taking a lot of damage. Usually in PvP, when you're in an arena, the beginning of a fight, a lot of people like to blow their cooldowns. Why is that? I don't know. I don't understand. But they like to. So sometimes I like to throw this in the beginning of a fight, and that keeps me alive. And also your AMS, you're going to want to use that on cooldown as well. Now with my AMS, what I had done is I made it alongside with my rune tap. Now you may be asking yourself why. The reason being is because when I cast AMS, I would also like not to only have my magic resistance up, but also 20%, taking 20% less damage, and it's taking less time to cast. It's more time efficient. I don't have to cast rune tap and AMS. I just cast one. It does both. The cooldown is about the same, so why not? So that's what I like to do. And then Death Pact, same thing. I made a macro. With this, I made it to where it casts Blood Presence if I'm not in Blood Presence, which will increase my health. And since Death Pact it heals based on your health, you always want to have that up so that you get healed for more. Same reason why I do it alongside Vampiric Blood. This is going to increase my health by 15% and the healing by 15%. So what do you think? It's going to add more heals to that Death Pact, so you're going to get the most out of it. So that's always good. And then you can also use your Lichborn. I like to save this for when I get feared, or if I'm asleep or charmed or something like that. But you can also use it for heals if you like. They're not big heals, but they're heals. And that's pretty much it for defensive cooldowns. Now I want to show you real quick what I do with my Breath of Sindragosa to make it last longer, like I promised you guys in the beginning. So what I like to do is I like to build up a lot of runic power. So what you're going to do is you're going to cast your Soul Reaper and your Death Strikes. You're not going to want to use any Death Coils, because that will deplete your runic power. But once you get to about full runic power and all your runes are on cooldown and you don't really got nothing else to do, but you see that your Breath of Sindragosa is up, and you want to burn down your enemy target. So what you're going to do is you're going to pop your Breath of Sindragosa. You're going to want to pop everything that gives you runic power. So that's your AMS, if you're a Blood Elf, your Racial, Soul Reaper, all that good stuff. So as you can see there, that was a pretty long one. Wasn't the best I've ever done, but it's definitely pretty long. You can also use your Plague Leech to remove your disease from the target, throw your Death Runes into some Death Strikes, which will also create more runic power for you for your BOS. Like I said, your AMS will give you runic power when you're taking damage, so that's also good as well. If you're a Blood Elf, your Racial gives you runic power. Dump your runes into Soul Reaper and Death Strike, and that will give you runic power, and that will make your BOS last a pretty long time. It's just all about planning and timing, guys. So if you practice that and you can get it down, you're going to be an expert at it. It's going to be great. You're going to be doing a lot of damage, and not to mention, with all those Death Strikes, you're going to be taking a lot less damage and healing yourself for a lot more. So I don't know. Patch 6.2, I think that blood DKs I think they're pretty good for PvP, and from what I've seen, Yeah, I think they're gonna go far. Give it a try. If you've never tried Blood before, take this guide into consideration. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer for you in the comments below. Um, and that's pretty much it, guys. Ciao for now.